Alright everyone, quick extra video today, yeah? Tuesday's video, we didn't really have a chance to look at some of the stuff that went in, especially the shapefile components. I want to go over the shapefile part, that how do we build the LSOA shapefile, right? Because I think looking at the way the next video is structuring and getting everything done, we need to cover this. And frankly, the last one was running really long and it just ended up on the cutting room table or cutting room floor. But I thought it's important to see. Okay, so what have I done? How's the shapefiles work? How do we get maps into Power BI, right? Or shapefiles maps into Power BI. So here we go. Let's cut an hour onto the web and see what we're up to. All right, so in this case, Google search, man, right? That's the way, right? I Google searched LSOA England and got here, okay? Downloaded this zip file, right? That's all I did. Just downloaded this zip file. For you, for your data, whatever it is you're looking for, you know, you might find you've got to find them on the interweb, right? You might get lucky and have somebody in the building or in your office who can write shapefiles from scratch or help build them. In this case, with the LSOAs, 30 odd thousand of them, tell you what, right? I'm not doing that. What you need to remember though, is this is big, right? 21 megabytes for here. So that's roughly what you're going to have sitting at a visual. That's going to be a problem for you. It's going to slow everything down. Right. The next thing, once you've got your file, is go to MapShaper. Okay, mapshaper.org. Okay, and in this case, get this all sorted out. Okay, let me get the file in. So I'm just going to drag the file I downloaded onto the page. Okay, it works with zips like this, which have got multiple files all together in there. Right, I'm just going to click import. Okay, and we can see we've now got all the LSOAs across England and Wales. Right, thankfully we haven't got Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. I was trying to find one that just had England and I couldn't. It's annoying, but that's what we've ended up with. What it means is we're going to have a load of them that we're not going to use. Okay, and again, editing shape files is not a trivial step, and especially not with these that don't have the data in for country in terms of, this in the country or that. I need to kind of go through and work it out. I think you can, because I'm pretty sure it's from the first letter of the LSOA code, but I'm not certain. Okay, once you get it in here, go to the console. Right, step one is hit info. What you want to look for is kind of what's gone in here. Okay, and in particular, it's things like the projection. Okay, so we've got here projection, lot like that, and datum. Okay, it's already WGS84. Okay, if it wasn't WGS84, you'd have to set that. But I can do that anyway. So what you would do is you would do Proj WGS, what was it? 84, wasn't it? WGS84. Okay, hit enter. So it's telling you source and destination are the same. If you had a different one, it would remap them and change them. But always go in, check your info, and know that to get it to work with Power BI, you need it to have that datum equals, or that, not datum, somewhere in that CRS, it will say project equals, and the WGS84. You need that somewhere in that line, okay? So once you've made sure that your file's all right, it's time to export it. So what you're going to do is click export. Remember, pick a TopoJSON. That's what we need for Power BI. Okay, let's call this one Ross, for example. Click export. Okay, job's a good one. That's it. Done, dusted, sorted. So here we are in Power BI Desktop. How do we make this work for us? It's dead simple. Let's go through it step by step. Step one is you have to make sure that you've enabled the feature, right? They are still in preview. these shape maps, and I think it's because they're just not intuitive to use at all. So you still have to go through your options, make sure you've checked shape map visuals, right? You know they're there because they'll appear here. So let's click that to put one on the page, right? Now remember, this is going to cover England and Wales, right? So it's going to be dog slow no matter what we do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag local authority district name to the page. I've already done it. Okay, you can see we're just looking at Newcastle. So we've got that as a page filter already. Okay, the next thing we want to bring in is the codes for them. So let's pick our map and let's click codes. And then let's bring through the index of codes needs to go, make sure it goes in as a location, not in the legend. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these IMD deciles in, both as a legend and as the color saturation. Okay. So we've now got the map built, and you go, well, that's not the map that we wanted. Okay. So what we need to do next is behind Mead, you'll see we can format the visual. Okay. So there's two things to do here. The first one is let's go to the zoom and let's tick the auto zoom. Okay. The next one is for here, right? These maps. So these are all the ones that are available. Again, if you're going to use them, you're going to need to make sure that you've got the right data format for your data so that it will work. But there's nothing at the LSOA level for us. So we're going to pick the custom map, browse to it. Let's pick Ross. And it's going to think about mapping everything to it. And you can see the map keys. So once this is loaded, let's click on the map keys and see what's available for you for it. Okay, and again, part of this is there's a lot of keys available in this data set. So part of the work, if we were to say like we want to really tweak this, would likely be to try and remove some of these from it. Okay, but what we've got is these LSOA codes that we're using and the names. Those are the two key bits, right? And then you've got some shape information as well. Right, really, we're using just that code for these, and this has then given us this all mapped piece together. Okay. What do you reckon then? Okay. There's a lot that goes into getting shapefiles to work for you, but they can be a nice, rewarding way of presenting data. And even in the Gartner work that Microsoft just done, the Gartner Shakedown, they've used a shapefile, like a shape map. So they are common and they do look good, and it's partly because they're not a real map. They are just like shapes, quite literally, and data is mapped to the shapes on a plane. It depends how you lay them out, depends on what you do with them, but you need to be careful when you do use them. There's elements of trial and error that goes into it. So be prepared to Google things, bring them through, use mapshaper.org to interrogate them, to resize or to redo the projections, to then make them work within Power BI desktop and within your Power BI environment. Again, be conscious, as with any aspects of Power BI, with these LSOAs, we're at 33,000 shapes on it. So that's a problem. Power BI tends to not like going beyond 2,000 items on a page or in a visual. So at 33,000, we're massively over everything. So it's not going to work. It's not going to be the best. But again, it might be the right thing for your visual. I think you can see, it's quite a powerful visual that you can get. Potentially LSOA is just too low for people to understand. They don't have a meaningful name. So it's not a case I can say, oh, it's this. So we might need to look at changing the granularity for that and using something like electoral wards that would make sense to people. But anyway, I hope you'll come back next Tuesday, see us carry on with the video series, but I thought it was important to get the shape map piece that had to be dropped covered and visible to you guys. So stay safe, keep taking care, have a great weekend. Ta-da.